All right, Mr. V, it is Star Wars month. I totally forgot about the Luke Skywalker drop because I was buried with so many projects at work. But I heard that you got something. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So heading into the drop, I had saved up a bunch of gems from the previous month because I sold some things and I was super liquid and I could have picked up a couple of grails, but I ended up continuing to do what I do and go for special mints to add to my collection. Then as soon as the news dropped, I probably had like tw less than 20% of what I had before. So that same morning, I loaded up my account with a bunch of gems.
Oh, you added gems.
I did. I did. I
All
mean, like
right.
I do it every once in a while, a good
Yeah.
amount. And so I felt ready, like in case I needed to pay a premium for those, or not a premium, but like a significant amount, a substantial amount for, anything that pops up. Anyways, I go for the drop and then I land something and a couple seconds go by and I come to find out that I got the secret rare Luke.
Oh, nice.
And it was a pretty nice number. It was a pretty nice number. It was number 400.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, number 400. And
Wow.
so as soon as the market opened, as soon as people started listing things on the market, I was like looking around. And then I jumped back to my collection and I see that popped up. So I got it. And then I went ahead and
Do you remember the total supply for Secret Rare?
I think it was like 519 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Something like
And I think the market opened with the secret rare being like 500 or something.
I think it was like, yeah, somewhere around there, like five, 600
Hmm.
gems or so. And then I ended up just because I'm not a Star Wars fan, I know very little about it. So I just went ahead and basically floored it as soon as I saw like the price slowly dipping from like the 600s down to the 500 to the upper 500s, listed it, and I became more liquid than I was. And yeah, so I got a nice little return on the drop. So that was a success for me at least. And then we have a mutual friend who collects certain mints, and I was able to grab a mint that he wanted for the rare, which is animated.
Hmm.
I bought that for him and I kind of held on to it kind of like as a surprise. And then I messaged him and I was like, hey, I got something for you. And then so now he has, I think, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, R2D2, C3PO, and now he has Luke. So he's got five out of the six Star Wars collectibles, or like the more significant ones, with the same mint,
Oh,
because
wow.
which is awesome. I'm very happy for him, and I was really happy that I could help him out with that. So and really, other than that, I've just kind of been laying low since that drop. However, I have continued to kind of look for deals here and there, seeing if I could match some stuff, and yeah, it's been fun.
So the surprise present for your friend, the 5 out of 6, you said 5 out of 6, right?
Of the more significant characters,
Yeah, yeah.
there's the droids, and
Are
then
they like double digit mint or triple digit?
they're year mints.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they all match for him.
Okay, and I assume this is a pretty significant year mint to Star Wars fans or to him personally.
Just him personally,
Okay.
just because when people start to catch on that you go for certain mints, they're like, okay, I know who to sell to. I know I have a buyer, so I'm gonna buy this mint and then sell it for a huge premium. And so my friend, he's gotten screwed over a bunch, just like I
Mm,
have on multiple.
yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just lock this up. I don't know if he had somebody else searching for it, but I took the initiative and just yesterday or today, I was able to get it to him.
What was his reaction when he got it?
Oh, he was pumped. He was super pumped. I'm happy for him, and you know, it's the least I could do because he's helped me out a lot, and it's good to have that kind of network grow. People help
Mhm.
you out, you help them out, and just kind of keep the that flow going.
So I assume the way you got it to him was you listed in a way that when he bought it, he would pay like the same amount of price that you pay for, less the transaction fee.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
Nice. So this guy is a Star Wars fan. Is that why he got most of them?
He must be. He must be like for you for anyone to have that kind of collection that he's got to
Yeah.
be. He must be a big fan.
Yeah. I actually have never landed a secret rare, and it's been over 2 years now. It's crazy. Is it your first time landing a secret rare?
Man, the first secret rare I ever got was Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then other than that, I got my first secret rare comic. It was like a Vision, a
Mhm.
Marvel. I don't know if it was the first appearance of Vision, maybe, but and that was less than a month ago. And I've been on VeVe since September 2021.
Yeah,
So got my first secret rare comic less than a month ago, and just got my second secret rare collectible out of all the
yeah.
drops that I've tried with this one.
Are you have you planned out what you're gonna do with the profit? Are you gonna buy something right away, or are you gonna use this as your runway for future drops?
It's a good question. I'm kind of playing it by ear because I've I've adjusted quite a bit where I want to have how based on however whatever my portfolio my vault value is worth. I want to make sure I have close to that in gems. And right now there's an imbalance, right?
Mm,
So right now I think my priority is trying to flip on drop days if I
mm,
can. I still have a hard time doing it, but I'm still going to make an effort to do that. And then, of course, if I do see a deal pop up, I'll definitely take it. Like so for example, the in the past week or so, I had another friend going for a grail with a special mint grail, and he wanted to sell some pieces that he had, and he had something that I was interested in, and I just happened to have a lot of liquidity, and it was something that I was seeking out. And so it was mutually beneficial where I got a matching mint set of a collectible, like there it was a multiple piece set, right? With the same mint, and I didn't have one yet. So I was very
mm.
happy with that. And he got some liquidity to be able to buy the special mint grail that he wanted. So the opportunities pop up. You never know if like so for me, I never know if another friend wants to sell something that I'm interested in, and I just so happen to have gems ready. So it's a good feeling to know that I have that option.
Right. So this morning I had this thought of, like how collectible prices, even for the grails like the partner statue or the lower ones like Todd Batman or Darth Vader or Superman are pretty low compared to how much they were going for a year ago, right? So this
Yeah,
morning I was thinking about like, man, imagine if the bull run, well, not really bull run, but like the crazy pump of January 2022, imagine if that didn't stop and prices kept going and going, maybe like not exponentially, but imagine. So Todd was 14,000 in January 2022, right? Imagine if Todd didn't drop to 900 gems a day, but it kept going to 20,000, 25,000. So I was thinking like, I know this bear market is terrible, but in a way, I still have an opportunity to go for these collectibles. Like I picked up my second Todd a few months ago, and I picked them up around like 1,000 gems, or yeah, around that area, and I didn't feel too bad about it. But if Todd were to go to like 14,000, then I can still take profit with the only one Todd I had back then. But then, like I don't know, I just kind of it is bad that the prices are dipping so much, but it's good because if we believe in the digital collectible space long term and we believe in the company and the IPs, we still have that opportunity to buy these first appearances on the blockchain. For example, like I think Superman is around 350 around that area. If I
yeah,
want to go buy Superman today, I can still do it, right? He's not 6,000, 7,000 like he used to be a year ago. If I want to go buy a Darth Vader, then he's not several thousands. If I want to go buy a partner Satu, I still need to save up for him. Or if you wanted to go for your Secret Rare Spider-Man again, you can still do it, right? Like he's not 100,000 anymore.
yeah. You're right in the sense that You're just right in this instance. As long as you're not over leveraging yourself, if
Yeah.
you go back and try to acquire an extra piece or your first piece or second or third, right?
Hmm.
And I think that this whole time, as the market's been retracing so significantly, that we're able to reset kind of and let this experience sink in and reflect on what it is that we're trying to do here and get back to the root of it. Some people are collecting and some people are doing this as an investment. And who's to say? It's kind of like if you go for art, if you buy art, even wealthy people who buy art, they're always open to selling, right? If the price
Hmm.
is right. So I mean, and then you could move that money to those funds into other collectibles or other art. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of good that can come from this market, and as long as you're not over leveraging yourself, like using every single what's the expression? Zeroing out your bank account, buying gems just so you can get collectibles because you think it's,
Yeah.
it's a great deal, you know, doing
Hmm.
everything within reason, making sure that you're taking care of home life and yourself and taking care of your physical health, going out exercising if you can, taking a walk, talking with friends, and then sprinkle in some collecting while you're at it. So
Yeah.
that balance is so crucial. So
Yeah.
to your point, yeah, this is a great opportunity, provided that we're not neglecting those other important things for balance.
Yeah. It's not like I don't like seeing the numbers in 2022 because like going back, I should have sold my tot at 14,000, right? So it's kind of like a bad thing, but we I just try to see thing in an optimistic and positive way during the bear market that we're in. Hey guys, just a quick message. Every week I, MisterV, work over 20 hours to bring you the most non-BS VV content. English is my second language, and there were nights we recorded until 1 a.m. My brain stopped processing, and I naturally spoke Vietnamese to him, and it got pretty weird. But that's just how dedicated we are to this podcast. In return, we ask you to enter a gentleman agreement. We will continue working until 1 a.m. for you, but we ask you to subscribe to the podcast, leave us a rating, and tweet at us to tell us what you think, because those comments will ultimately help us to refine the content just for you. That's it. That's all you need to do. Let's get back to it. So that's that. Also, I noticed that the community sentiment totally shifted over the past 2 weeks, maybe after the community update.
Hmm.
And it was really cool because there were multiple good things that happened in such a short period of time that push all the FUD and negativities and all the bad things that happened months before that. It was like a very good 2 weeks, I would say, because the first thing was having like seeing Dan and David in a video. And what's even more special is like they mentioned, oh, we're gonna have crafting. We can whitelist more people for MCP. In the past, when they mentioned that they were gonna do something, it would take them a few weeks or even a few months to get it out, right? But then when they mentioned crafting, we saw crafting in the app 2 weeks later, right?
Yeah.
We saw more articles coming out. Oh, hey, if you were to burn these X number of premium Marvel collectibles, if you were to collect these stones, you'll be able to redeem Thanos or whatever, right? So it was really cool to see something new, which is, oh, we will have crafting and actually see crafting coming out less than 2 weeks later. And then they also mentioned how they, at the time, like 2 weeks ago, they were also talking about enabling MCP for more people. And then less than 2 weeks later, I even got MCP. I'm at level 17, which is kind of terrible. That's why I don't want to talk about it. But I don't care too much about MCP. But I got MCP. And so many other people got MCP at the same time. And people talked about it. People share their points and levels and like whether they are a master or like a platinum thing or whatever. And that was good to see because we haven't had that good organic content for a long time. And then because of that, for example, MCP, right? People were discussing, well, why don't you have like, why are you on level 80, but you only have 200 daily points, right? There must be something wrong. And then a few days later, VeVe fixed that. and they saw the daily points went up, and then people were like strategizing, oh, this guy, he has several thousand comics, that's why he got to this X level, maybe I should do the same thing. And I saw a post somewhere of how the comics transaction went up. So people are strategizing, they are competing, they are discussing how to level up in terms of MCP.
Mhm.
People are doing the same thing with crafting. Like they were, talking about, oh, should I burn my Invisible Woman or should I burn my Electra? And they were, talking about hypothesis of, oh, maybe this drop had more bots and therefore more supply were held back by VeVe. Therefore, if, for example, I'm just putting out one example, which is let's just say Invisible Woman, right? People were thinking about burning Electra because Electra looked terrible.
Mhm.
Then, in terms of scarcity, maybe there were more Invisible Women held back by the company. And then, if the burning were to take place, Invisible Woman could become scarcer than some other Grail collectible, for example. And then the prices of the burnable, craftable NFTs increase because people will be burning them, and then some of the stones that you need to get that airdrop or whatever as well. So that was really cool.
Yeah, there was way too much. Like I heard that people were coming up with like flow charts and I've
Oh,
seen
really?
yeah, and there's a bunch of people who are posting on Twitter their those same charts or those strategies, and you see threads upon threads
Mm.
of discussions on it, which is great. I mean, like that it's entertainment. It's fun. It's not for me.
Not for
I'm
me either.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. But it's fun to see people get excited over those sort of things. It's just like when we see people get excited over a new artist joining VeVe,
Hmm.
or a new IP. It's always a good time. It's fun to discuss those sort of things. It's refreshing.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed? I saw that we have a very motivated community because if you think about the past challenges that people did, like the showroom competitions, even today you still see people putting a lot of effort filming their collectibles, taking photos with their collectibles. And then last week we talked with Simon, the guys from Germany. He flew all the way to both New York and LA to attend Comic Cons, mostly to talk to the team. So, like, our community is very motivated. This is something that they would do 100%, doing decision trees and flowcharts and those kind of things. Going from that to building content, finding the mint numbers from looking at the blockchain data, and then from building apps like Ecomi Wiki, VMate, Token Hunter, whatever. And then we talked to Sleeping Comics and we saw how crazy he is and some other folks are in terms of collecting comics. Like, so I feel like we have a lot of potential in this community. They are very different. They have that passion and curiosity
Mhm.
and a pretty crazy amount of time to actually like go do these things. And a lot of that can be unlocked and pushed forward with these kind of like gamifications, like MCP or crafting. I think crafting will take collecting and like all these community activities to the next level.
Absolutely. And it even had me thinking, what if I was in a predicament where I had to craft and burn certain
Mhm.
collectibles? Well, that's an extra incentive for me to start getting multiples of everything because you never know
Right.
what might be around the corner. So that I mean like another layer to that gamification, like okay, what's next?
Yeah, yeah. And then you may even be willing to spend money on the things that you would not want to spend money on, like Electra, which looks terrible, or Invisible Woman, because while they look terrible, they are not super popular, but the scarcity aspect and like you're placing that bet of, oh, if people were to burn, X percentage of Electra, she may get very scarce and you may get some good return on investment, right? Or like some not very well-known comics that might get burned as well to get a rare comics or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good thing that there's a surplus for these instances. So it seems like they say that they plan things out months in
Hmm.
advance just for designing and for scheduling certain drops
Yeah,
for them to be this far ahead in terms of, or not this far ahead, but to think this far out, that far out, like a
yeah,
year in advance or whatever, or longer, who knows? But to be aware enough that hey, there has to be an extra supply available in the market, whether it's items in the store, items on the secondary market, it all. I see things coming more full circle than ever before.
yeah. And so now that we have MCP and crafting, which are the gamification aspect in the app, combined with the off-app activities like you buy, like the Jurassic Park ticket and you get a poster, but you also can go to the cinema like I did, and I spent 5.5 hours watching two movies back to back. That was really cool. So like people don't talk too much about. Well, people don't talk about it enough because personally, you cannot get me to go sit down for almost 6 hours and watching two dinosaur movies.
Dude, I did the same thing, but that was brutal. That was really.
Really?
I was like falling asleep. I had the movie theater I went to had some beers available, and I exercised that option of having a few. And man, it was nap time for me.
Okay.
But
I had a good time.
but I mean, like it was cool. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I did watch everything, but like I was it's draining. So those double features are tough,
Yeah.
especially like for me. I have kids now, uh,
Mm.
so but yeah, it was cool. It nudged me in the direction of doing something in real life
Hmm.
that I almost certainly would not have done were it not for the digital posters, right?
Right. Yeah. And then I got the poster, I sold them and basically broke even. So I got to watch two movies, flip some collectibles. That was cool. And then, in the future they also talk about the game, like Tengoku Sensor whatever game, and more physical too. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. Like you go to Walmart or something
Mhm.
and you buy this toy and you can redeem it for a digital collectible. And the thing is, they can make it kind of like exclusive in the sense that you can't really tell the total supply of that particular collectible because if you would think about the Jurassic Park poster, there were this poster for exclusively for the Italian market.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if you remember, but it was like extremely scarce because not many people redeem that poster. So the supply were extremely low. And I remember that poster went up to like 1,000 gems.
Wow.
Uh, yeah. So that was for the Italy market, which was kind of crazy. So that's that. And then crafting was good. MCP was good. The Star Wars drop, added fuel to this really good fire. To people were debating on Facebook, like, oh, Darth Vader had more supply and a much higher floor compared to. So I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't know much about Star Wars, but like Luke Skywalker, he has less supply and lower floor, which doesn't really make sense. So like people were arguing whether Darth Vader is better than Luke, is strategizing. The other thing that I wanted to mention is the Cryptoys, which is this new brand that got the Lucasfilm license from Disney to drop Star Wars collectibles.
Hmm.
And are you aware of it?
I'm aware of it. I've seen pictures
Hmm.
of Darth Vader with and without the helmet.
Yeah.
I heard that there's what's it called? Like extra items that you could buy or mint to add to the characters. That's the extent that I've heard.
Yeah, same here. But I thought it was so at first I was like, well, more competition for VeVe, or why did Lucasfilm or Disney partner with another company instead of releasing those products on VeVe? But I thought it was good in a sense that, well, it was okay, let's go with the bad first. It was bad because why not VeVe 100%, right?
Hmm.
But then I can see these companies like diversifying their products all the time. You can buy Disney product in Disneyland through the Disney store, or you can go to like Walmart and stuff and still buy Disney product too. But the thing is, I hope that having more competition will motivate VeVe to do better. Because well, this is debatable, but I believe over the past 2 years, VeVe has been the number one player in the branded digital collectible space. And I'm emphasizing the word branded. So this is only IP specific. I'm not talking about like the NFT marketplace. No, I'm talking about well-known licenses. Because when people want to get like DC collectibles or Disney or Marvel or Star Wars or Universal collectibles, the only place where they can get all of them is VeVe, right? But and I know VeVe's been working very hard in the background to come up with new features and to bring more values to the community. But sometimes being the only player, well, the only good player or the pioneer or the leader in the space can, can make you become kind of like satisfied with yourself, and you don't have that fire, lit up behind you for you to go faster, for you to be more aggressive in how you roll out things. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it's basically like they were. I'm not saying that they were, but
Mhm.
maybe if they were lulled to sleep and they were
Exactly.
too comfortable, like you pointed out, too comfortable, other people are working behind the scenes, trying
Yeah.
to like catch up and get ahead.
Yeah. Because when they see, well, it looks like the graphic from the Cryptoys is better than what VeVe has. Maybe they would try improving their quality, assurance aspect of it, and put out more of these gamification, like fun things for people to do in the app. Because if you know if these FUD or delays or negativity keep happening in the community, then the IPs and licensors will have to consider, well, VeVe is going down, or VeVe is having so many troubles, they're missing so many deadlines. Should we focus our assets elsewhere, right?
Mhm.
So this competition will create a lot of motivation for the team to work harder. And even though I don't like, seeing Disney product elsewhere, I think this is very good for the app in general.
Yeah, it's more exposure for the IP in a new space, right?
Yeah.
NFT, digital collectibles, depending on how you see things, right?
Yeah.
Because there's different points of view, but it's healthy. Yeah, absolutely. Like you want to get as much exposure as you can, and with a massive company like Disney or Lucasfilms or anyone under that umbrella of Disney, it they're going to be successful. They're going to be successful. And if they're not successful, then they're going to have some valuable information on how to make moves, that to find that success
Yeah.
financially, in terms of marketing, along those
Yeah.
lines.
That is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have enjoyed the episode today. And if you have, remember that gentleman agreement. We will continue working until 1 a.m. just for you. But in return, we ask you to subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss out on the actionable and valuable insight, everything VeVe and Omi related. Don't forget to give us a rating and tweet at us to let us know what you think about the podcast so that we can refine the content better just for you. Thank you so much. We hope to see you again next time. Peace.